Fountain Hill had its own post office and a shop. Just above it was the Rising Sun, a very ancient cider and beer public house. Mrs. Potter and Miss Butcher, who I believe were sisters, were licensees, but they were there prior to the memory of my wife. And while we were courting, we were invited into the afternoon tea, and I quickly realised I was being vetted. It was, where do you work, young man? And what's your prospects, young man? And who's your father, young man? And as soon as I mentioned who my father was, bingo, it actually happened, and I didn't realise.
I met him at school. We went to Laycock School. He lived at Raybridge, so he was an outsider. And obviously I knew him, but we were in a gang of 18 that used to go about, and just sort of, it happened that we started going out. So, and we used to go to the Carpenter's Arms every Saturday night, and it used to be really, really, really good. You had to be there early or you couldn't get in. That's how good it was. And I remember an old lady called Alice Godden, and she used to, like, I think it was stout she used to drink, and she used to dance on the table. It used to be, oh, you think, oh, poor old lady, but she used to have like a pinny on, and she used to really dance and love it.
I was known in the village partly because I had a bloodhound. I was always walking around the village with this big dog. I also did a little rescue job for Pat Taylor. It was John Taylor's daughter, who used to live at the Abbey Lodge, and she lost her tortoise, went down into their backyard, bloodhound jumped into the long grass, and who should walk out with the tortoise? Not that he'd found it, but he gave the impression he found it, and she thought he was a great heroic dog for having found her missing tortoise. I did do a job for the police once. That was at Bremhill. A friend, son had disappeared, and during the day he'd gone to school and turned up at school. They were concerned because someone at Bremhill said they'd seen this man with a young boy in the churchyard. He rang me and asked if I'd come over, and the police said they would be happy for him to have a go at doing this. So laid him on in the churchyard where they said they'd seen this chap with the boy, and but I wasn't particularly convinced we were on the right thing. But I did say to the police, well, it's worth him doing this, because if there's anything under a hedge or anything like that, he will go to it. So two coppers followed me. They were in full uniform with their Macs and everything on. Anyway, they had come over the radio a message to say that the boy had been found. He'd actually been to Bath, spent his dinner money in Bath, and was on his way back.
I love it. Personally speaking, I love it. I can't imagine living anywhere else. We've often talked, Dave and I, if we came up on the lottery, we would not move, because we wouldn't know anyone and we wouldn't know where to go either. Our circle is here. Close friends is here.
Love it. Wouldn't want to live in any other house in Laycock bar this one, because I've lived in here all my life and it feels a part of me, you know. Just wouldn't feel right to live anywhere else than this.
Like, my children could walk down the road now. People would talk to them. They know who they belong to. So in that respect, it's very safe. But I think you're losing a lot of the local families. They're getting, I know it sounds awful, they're getting priced out of the village. So it's all the history is being lost. It's just disappearing. And I do think in years to come, it's just going to be a village with no history left, because there will be no one to carry the history on. My children, they're never going to be able to afford to live in the village. So I will be the last of my family to live here in the village. I think that's very sad. I do think, with it being left to the descendants of Laycock people, that should still be the main priority for a village like Laycock.